Welcome back to Philosophy Unpacked. Today, we're diving into one of Nietzsche's most poetic and challenging pieces from Thus Spoke Zarathustra, the second dance song.
This is the one where Zarathustra has a direct conversation with a personified life, right? It sounds incredibly allegorical.
Exactly. It's a complex, passionate dialogue that explores our entire relationship with existence. It begins with Zarathustra describing a vision he had looking into life's eyes.
What did he see? What was the vision?
He says, "Gold saw I gleam in thy night eyes." He describes seeing a golden boat on dark waters, a symbol of pure, unadulterated delight that makes his heart stand still.
A moment of perfect beauty. And this kicks off a dance, I believe, right?
Yes, a dance-frantic one. Life gives him a questioning glance, and suddenly his feet are swinging with dance fury. It's a metaphor for being thrown into the chaos and passion of living.
He has a great line in there. Hath not the dancer his ear in his toe? What's he getting at with that?
It means being so completely immersed in the experience of life, so in tune with it, that your entire body is listening and responding. It's about total, instinctual engagement.
But the dance isn't a simple, happy one. There's a lot of push and pull, a real tension between them.
That's the core of it. He springs toward her, she flees. He springs away from her, and she looks back with caresses in her eye. It's a classic love-hate dynamic.
So he's caught in his paradox. He says, I fear thee near, I love thee far. He's both drawn to life and overwhelmed by it.
Precisely. He suffers because of life, but he says he would gladly bear any suffering for her. It captures the essence of loving life, not in spite of its hardships, but including them.
He calls her all these contradictory things too. Temptress, seekress, findress, but also an innocent, impatient, child-eyed sinner.
He's trying to grasp her total nature. Life is a force of creation and destruction, seduction and innocence, all at once. It's beyond simple labels.
The metaphor then shifts from a hunt, doesn't it?
It does. He asks, I am the hunter. Wilt thou be my hound or my chamos? This represents a desire to take control, to master life, to impose his will upon it.
And how does that work out for him?
Not well. In his effort to leap and dominate, he says, Alas, I have fallen myself over swinging. His attempt to master life leads to his own downfall.
So after he falls, he begs for grace and wishes for something simpler. He mentions paths of love or a quiet lake.
It's a moment of profound weariness. He's tired of the chaotic struggle and longs for peace and simplicity. It's a very human reaction to life's constant demands.
But life doesn't seem to offer him that peace. He calls her a cursed, nimble, supple serpent right after.
Exactly. The moment of vulnerability passes and the frustration returns. This leads to one of the most famous and misunderstood lines in the book.
The line about the whip. He says, to the rhythm of my whip shalt thou dance and cry.
Yes, it sounds brutal, but it's not about literal violence. He's declaring that he's done being a passive, sheepish shepherd led by life.
So the whip is a symbol for what, exactly? His will?
It's a symbol of his will to power. He will now impose his own rhythm, his own meaning onto life. He will create his own values and force existence to dance to his tune.
A shift from being a follower to being a creator. That sets the stage for life's response, which is surprisingly calm.
Incredibly calm. She covers her ears and says, Crack not so terribly with thy whip. Thou knowest surely that noise killeth thought.
So his loud, forceful assertion of will is actually counterproductive to thought.
She suggests a different way. She tells her they are both of us genuine ne'er-do-wells and ne'er-do-ills, and that they have found their island beyond good and evil.
There's that huge Nietzschean phrase. What does she mean by beyond good and evil in this context?
She's saying they should operate outside of conventional morality. Life isn't inherently good or bad, it just is. They should exist in a space of pure affirmation without judgment.
And she also admits she's envious of his wisdom. That's a fascinating confession from life itself.
It is, but it comes with a condition. She warns him, if thy wisdom should one day run away from thee, then would also my love run away from thee quickly.
So life is attracted to the struggle for meaning. Her love is dependent on his philosophical engagement.
Exactly. The pursuit of wisdom is what makes him a worthy partner for life. But then the mood darkens.
She accuses him of not being faithful, of planning to leave her.
Yes, she says she knows he thinks of soon leaving me. She points to a heavy, booming clock that strikes at midnight, which prompts this thought in him.
What does the clock represent? The thought of death or an escape from life?
It represents the ultimate questions, perhaps about nihilism or the end of things. And Zarathustra hesitates, but admits she's right. He whispers something to her, and the result is deeply emotional. They weep together.
In that shared moment of sorrow and vulnerability, Zarathustra has a profound realization. Then, however, was life dearer unto me than all my wisdom had ever been.
Wow, so after all the philosophizing, the struggle for mastery, he realizes the lived, felt experience of life is more valuable than the intellectual pursuit of wisdom. It's a crucial turning point. The intellectual quest is vital, but it cannot and should not replace life itself. This leads us to the final, cryptic part of the chapter.
The Song of the 12 Chimes of Midnight. It starts with, "O man, take heed." It sounds incredibly summarizing.
It is, the climax. The poem states that the world is deep and its woe is deep, but then it makes a critical turn.
It says, joy deeper still than grief can be.
Yes, and while woe wants to end, to pass away, it says, hence, go. Joy has a completely different desire.
The final lines, but joys all want eternity, want deep, profound eternity. What is the significance of that?
This is the core of Nietzsche's concept of the eternal recurrence. A moment of true, profound joy is so powerful that it affirms everything.
How so? How does joy affirm everything?
Because to wish for that one moment of joy to be eternal means you must also accept everything that led to it. All the pain, all the suffering, all the woe.
So if you could live your life over and over again, exactly the same, you would say yes just for the chance to re-experience that joy?
That is the ultimate yes to life. It connects everything. The chaotic dance, the struggle, the pain, it's all redeemed by a joy so deep it desires forever.
So the whole dance song is a journey. It moves from a struggle to control life to a quiet appreciation of it, and finally to this powerful affirmation through joy.
Exactly. It's a beautiful encapsulation of his philosophy, not to escape life, not just to endure it, but to love it so completely that you would will its eternal return.
It really reframes the initial aggression with the whip. It's not about domination, but about engaging so fully that you can find that kind of profound joy.
That's a perfect way to put it. The will to power isn't about crushing others, but about shaping a life for yourself that you can affirm in its entirety.
And in the end, his relationship with life isn't one of a master and a slave,
But of two beings weeping together and finding value in that shared moment.
Yes, the intellectual distance collapses into lived experience. Wisdom and life are reconciled, with life ultimately being held as the more precious of the two.
A powerful and deeply moving piece of philosophy. Presents it as a dance. Thanks for breaking that down.
My pleasure. It shows how Nietzsche used poetry and metaphor to explore the most profound questions of human existence.
And it leaves us with that final thought. Does our joy run deep enough to want eternity?
A question we can all ponder. That's all the time we have for today on Philosophy Unpacked.